Hello, you're watching Real Simple News on Thursday, June 4th, 2020, which was a day ago. But to analyze the intellectual dark web, we need one day, so it's always a day behind. I am your host, Cale McCullough, captain of the Kabuki Starship, and today's other top story is Joe Biden kisses BLM ass for votes. In the last episode, or earlier today in Real Simple News, I exposed to you that the BLM Antifa-Nazis are indeed actually a Russian disinformation campaign. And I revealed this through an analysis using my A-Star startup IMU language technology to turn a handwritten drawings into a UML and information. And what we have here, when you put all the data together, you have a very clear pattern that Hitler was trying to establish a socialist utopia and that his plan was to commit suicide. By modeling his laws after Democrat Jim Crow laws to scare off the Africans and to pretend like it was white supremacists, to start a fight with the other white supremacists in order to kill the 1%, the poor people, and the racist people, in order to create a communist utopia. And it was such a genius plan, we did not discover it until, like 80 some odd years later, right? I mean, genius. So the Russians... Hello? Hey, anybody home? Russians. What have we been talking about? For how long? Russians. And they said it was Trump, right? But what happened with when they unredacted the Steele dossier, right? They knew it was bullshit disinformation from Russia. They knew it. They knew it was Dude, the Democrats knew it was disinformation from Russia. They rolled with it, dude. The Democrats rolled with it. I'm telling you, man, they owned slaves, started the KKK, and opposed women's suffrage. Then they turned into white feminists. You got to look at the pattern. White Latinos, they're white supremacists, most illegal immigrants. Where are they from? Mexico, where what? They're really racist against black people and Amerindians, or American Indians. But Amerindians is a beautiful word. Plus, it's not American, right? My dad's was a member of a tribe. Then he moved to Mexico. He was friends with Jimi Hendrix and Janis Joplin and whatever. He got caught with like 500,000 hits of acid. And he hated America after that, right? Lived in La Paz. Rainbow Hawk. That guy. So what does this story say? Former U.S. Vice President Biden secured enough delegates to formally clinch the Democratic presidential nomination on Friday by pandering to Black Lives Matter, Radfems, Antifa, Bernie Bros, Ivory Tower liberals, and socialists. It's the one tie between all these groups, right? Who's riding out in the streets, dude? Is it the Republicans out in the street rioting? Really? That's kind of funny. That's kind of funny because this is a pro-immigrant website called the Migration Policy Institute. And it shows a clear pattern. It shows that there's over 25% Latino births. And that if you look at the state of California, where they are a sanctuary state, it's almost 50%. And why is this? Yay. Why? The demographics. You have to follow the money. Dude, I'm an entrepreneur. A-Star startup. It's an AI algorithm. You got to look at the reward and the cost and the reward. Right? Who's the customer? Okay. Who has the money? Women. They own 2/3 of the wealth in the United States. You say 2/3 because by the time the information circulates around, they will have actually had 2/3. It's almost 2/3 now. They control 85% of consumer spending. They buy 91% of new houses. They buy 60% of computers. They buy 92% of vacations. Pay for 80% of healthcare. 93% of pharmaceuticals. 93% of food. Thank you, God, for that. Ooh. Any single women want to come over here and do that? I am single. And I love Latinas. Okay. So, what are the common patterns? Common patterns. Who's out? Who's the enemy? Who fought the Nazis? The white supremacists. Why? Because Nazis wanted to kill the 1%. The Jews weren't the target. Scientific racism was a way to pull their friends and family out of the concentration camps. The target was the 1%, the poor people and the racist people. Because with racist people, they don't want to share with minorities, buddy. The only way to get that is if you kill them. Let them kill themselves. Stupid inner city people, hood Democrats. That's who they are. They've always been that. The people at the top of the ivory tower have always been in control, buddy. They've always been in control, right? To rise up in the ivory tower, you must use their social networks, the ones that are controlled by foreigners, not Americans, right? 3 out of 5 white guys are Republicans. 2/3 of the degrees coming out of colleges are women. Why? Because women are beautiful when they're young, and guys want to impregnate them, and older guys pay for their shit, and then they teach them how to make more money. And next thing you know, you got women in control of 2/3 of the wealth. They start 17% of startups, but they own 43% of businesses. And one must conclude they're not underpaid, that it is a lie, disinformation campaign. Because who are they targeting? Who are they trying to make money off of, dude? I mean, you got to think these people are gangsters, dude. They're gangsters, bro. They're the cartel and the fucking Russians and the fucking terrorists, dude. No shit. No shit. They're out there writing Latino cartels. Why? Because their fucking voter base is composed of socialist Latinos, rad femmes, Black Lives Matter people, hood Democrats, and ivory tower liberals. So they're heavily socialist. I'm an engineer. I know these people. They have a socialist utopia plan. They do. But the only way to have it is to get rid of the racist people, the poor people, and the 1%. Donald Trump is the king of the Jews because the Democratic Party can't pay him off. He's shiesty Jews. Or the stereotype is. They're not. They're good business people, right? That's why they were in control of Germany, right? Because they're not spending their money on drugs and alcohol. Right. So Donald Trump, in the Nazi plan here, is the king of the Jews. I call him the great white savior because he saved the white people, because he was the one that spoke up about illegal immigration. And the people at Goldman Sachs can't give him a cushy job to pay him off because he's already rich. They don't have him bought off, dude. That whole thing from the Steele dossier about Donald Trump doing golden showers with Russian disinformation campaign, dude. Come on. Classic Nazi move, dude. What you got to do is you got to make it so that the boogeyman on the left scares you to the right. The boogeyman on the right scares you to the left. But what's in between fascism and communism? Marxism. Pure socialist utopia, or so they say, but the problem with their theory is that your money is not worth anything if you don't work. Right? Socialism turns you into a hateful beta male who is closed off from the world and then starts to blame the 1% for their problems, when really they need to get a job and an education and stop being whammon. And Biden's just kissing their ass, dude. That's because he's an ivory tower liberal. Ivory tower liberals tell you whatever you want to say to get elected because they've always controlled the hood Democrats. They've always controlled the rad femmes and the Antifa because they're at the top of the ivory tower, dude. Who do you think's at the top? The people have been there. Why is it that most of the poor white guys aren't able to, their grades aren't good enough? Why is it that it's the privileged white kids and the Asians that are getting all these fancy jobs, right? It's because their parents taught them right, man. They know the lingo. They know what you need to do. They have a good attitude. They don't do drugs, go around robbing people and getting in fights and committing felony crimes like the black kids, dude. They don't. That's why they're at the top of the ivory tower, dude. They used to be white supremacists because at that point in time, white people were the most sane and rational people and the most advanced people at the time. Had the Asians been more advanced, they would not have been white supremacists because white people aren't stupid. They know Asians are ahead. That's why there's no white supremacy, dude. Because the people in the ivory tower know the Asians are ahead because they don't hire the white guys. And instead, they hire what? Outreach people. I was a student ambassador for Portland State University. My job was to hire minorities and women to replace white people. That's how I know this. That's how I know. Because it was my job at Portland State University in Oregon. I was a student ambassador. I'm white. What the fuck am I doing trying to hire minorities and women to replace white dudes, dude? And then I ended up getting fired for sexual harassment because I made the website, okay? And like I've been a website developer for a long time, and I made a really good design of like taking a picture from the top of the dean's office and then turning it into a drawing. And that's what they used for the website for a long time. But we got a big argument about it because I wanted to put in some resources that the students could put up resources to help students. But the woman at the top of the ivory tower didn't like that, man. She didn't like that shit, dude. She didn't want to manage it, dude. It was like a money thing for her. She's like, I can't do that. I'm not going to have it. I'm just like, come on, man. We're student ambassadors to do that, dude. It's just like some resources on what you can, what resources are available to help them. She didn't want to do it. Why? Didn't want to work for it. Why? Money. So what they do? This chick said I sexual harassed. Okay, this girl broke up with me. I was like not having a good time, and I had like been up all night partying, and I wasn't in good shape to go to work, and I needed somebody to cover my shift. So I emailed this woman that I thought she was my friend, dude. We'd been a student ambassador for like almost like a year or something. And I emailed her. I'm like, look, my girlfriend broke up with me. I'm like not having a good time. I need you to cover my shift. Cause like, yeah, sure. I'll take the money. Sure. Yeah, right. Like anybody would. Right. They said it was sexual harassment. They fired me for sexual harassment for asking somebody to cover my shift. Cause they said I tried to cam onto her, dude. You got to watch out for these rad femmes, dude. Right. Because why are they a rad femme? They got kicked out of the ivory tower, dude. Or they're a ivory tower liberal. Why? Because they're in the ivory tower. Why? Because they did really well and they won in the meritocracy. White dudes' grades suck because the chicks are super hot in college. All the older dudes want to study with them and pay for their bills and stuff to have a baby with them because older women can't have babies. Right. And then these are the quote unquote evil misogynistic pigs that we should underpay or something. As it turns out, the women are swiping left because you don't have pictures of your vacations up like the rest of the rich dudes. They're looking for the top 15, 20%. They're shopping, dude. They're shopping. They're literally saying, how can I get more money? It's all about me. It's all everybody, what they do. These people, all these BLM Antifa-Nazis out here are out there because it benefits them. They rise up in the social hierarchy. The white man rises down. They're being brainwashed by Russia. This is classic Nazi move, dude. It's a Nazi move. Duh. It started out with Russian disinformation. What does the federal government know? Do they not know this? I mean, did I expose their plan here with my startup IMU language? Chinese room technology? The Chinese room abstract stack machine. Did I do that? It seems as though I might have actually done that. It's the boogeyman from the Southern Poverty Law Center and MSNBC. The one that mistreats women and beats them up and rates them, prevents them from voting and puts burqas on their head. Because that's what Muslims do, dude. They're like, no, you can't hate Muslims. Why? Terrorist. They're terrorists. You can't hate them because the Russians are putting a disinformation campaign out. They want you to love their enemies, so you'll rise up and start World War III, dude. That's what it is. Putin wants to start World War III. That's what he's trying to do. Yeah. Biden's kissing their ass. See, ivory tower liberals are scum. They only care about themselves. Why are they putting out all these posts on Twitter? Why? Because people like them. Why? 60% of people on Twitter are Democrats. Why? Because people like their posts. People don't like the conservatives' posts as much. They're conservative, right? They conserve. They don't like things because they just feel good. They don't like them because it goes with their narrative. Who does that? Hood Democrats, rad femmes, ivory tower Democrats, or liberals, Antifa, Bernie Bros, Yang Gang, to name a few. It's a socialist coalition, dude. That's what Putin put together with drug gangs. Dude, man, these Democrats are pretty fucking bad. I mean, I can see why they would want to kill all these racist people and poor people, because if you look at all the violence they're causing in the city, I mean, they're pretty skeezy. These gangs are pretty skeezy. They're horrible. I told my story about how I almost got murdered by a gangbanger from Atlanta. He was black, and how he tried to get me to have sex with this pregnant white woman, and then I wouldn't. And then he said I robbed him. He flipped out, pulled out guns, and it was a hostage situation. You should check it out, man. Check it out. It's a crazy story, bro. Crazy story. It's true. I got evidence. Well, hold on. If we went back with my phone records, I don't know if that chick got murdered, dude. If somebody's a cop, man, please. I would love to know if this woman was murdered by this guy. I have no clue, because he threatened me. He threatened to kill my family if I told that he robbed me. Dude, this dude was a pro killer. He said he was a pro killer too. This is the first time I've ever admitted that in public, because he threatened to kill my family and burn my house down, dude. Yeah, it was terrorizing. This is who Biden's kissing their ass, dude. People that rioted and looted and targeted 1% white business owners because of Donald Trump. It wasn't. I helped start the 26 Portland anti-Trump protest when I was a rad femme, because I got kicked out of the ivory tower, and I thought it was all this Russian disinformation shit, dude. And it's because all these foreigners are in control of these companies, and they got this dark money coming from Citizens United, which is bullshit, dude. Dude, do our people have that kind of voice? No, our people don't have that kind of voice. Citizens United is I can see why they voted that way, but the court needs to readdress it to have more precedents or overturn it. You can't have a liberal court. Dude, the liberal court's been horrible. I mean, yeah, they do some stuff to go help some other people out. It's always good to have a competition of ideas. We win from the competition of ideas, like design thinking. It's best to have divergent thought, as much thought as possible, to get as much input as possible on the vote till you can finally get enough ideas where you can converge on the right idea. And you can't do that yourself because you're biased. So you need to do design thinking, right? If you don't know about it. Yeah. I'm writing a book called The Ace Startup Cookbook. And all this stuff's in there and it's free. I'm trying to get the IMUL stuff to be able to do it. Yeah, it's a lot of work, man. Anybody wants to help? I need help. There's a lot of cash that we could win. So what's the next story besides BLM having white people bow down to them after they start riots over fake news? Because George Floyd died of either COVID or a heart attack from meth or just bad health from all the booze and the drugs that he's been on and the COVID. It's like, it was, yeah, dude, it's all COVID. He had COVID, dude. You write it over some dude that died over COVID. They're like, oh, but they put their knee in. I was like, dude's complaining about not breathing. They didn't put weight on him. They were restraining him because he was acting like crazy, dude. He was on drugs, dude. That's why they pulled him over. BLM Antifa-Nazis. Working for the Russians, bruh. And they got you to think the Republicans were racist. It's a disinformation campaign, dude. They're pawning social media. Dude, Facebook, all these ivory tower Democrats need to pay. Do they need federal disaster relief funds? Ivory tower Democrats need to pay for the damages that they caused to the Americans. They need to go to jail. They started a riot over fake news so they can get money off of clickbait, race bait, fembait, clickbait. That's what they all want to be the first person to report the story, dude. They don't fact check it. Next story from Israel Times. U.S. gears up for weekend protest amid anger at new police abuses. And so, as you can see, other countries start to join in the media propaganda, right? Times of Israel, not a very reliable source, dude. I don't put this news up here because it's right. I put it up here because it's garbage. We already saw this video earlier in today's section, but whenever you have riots and target people's businesses, people hate you. This is how you start wars, dude. Right? Night of the Broken Glass. That's why it's called Week of the Broken Glass. What just happened? Because the Russians tried to start World War III with the disinformation campaign. Right? That's how they started World War II, dude. To think we fell for that shit. Next article from the Mail Online. Pacific Islander footy star slams Aaron Mullen for hookah mooka luka outburst. What the fuck is this, dude? Next article from the Times of Israel. Facebook removes U.S. hate group accounts, pushing amid members to go protest. It's coming from Facebook. Facebook's maximizing the amount of ads you see by getting you pissed off, dude. It's ivory tower liberals that fire white dudes, and they only hire rad femmes to fire the white guys to hire women and minorities because the black kids' grades aren't good enough, so they can only hire Latinos because that's their customer. Besides the rad femmes, the women, because they control all the money. Look, follow the money, man. Who has the money? Right? It's a hierarchy. When you start to see it, you can see there's some Nazis. Yeah, dude. Communists are still Nazis, man. People who kill mass groups of people, that's about as Nazi as it gets. Communist, Nazi. They're both, dude, the boogeyman on the left and boogeyman on the right both send you the same direction, dude, because they're both working for the same people. That's why they funded both sides in World War II, because they were trying to kill racist people, poor people, and the 1% to create a communist or a socialist utopia in Europe. And they had to jack the Jews, and they created scientific racism to get their friends and family out of the concentration camp. They were just feeding the mobs whatever the hell they wanted to see. If you were racist enough to go do Nazi shit, you deserve to die, right? This is the mentality they had, right? 1% deserve to die to them. They don't. They're beautiful people. Dude, they act right, man. They're not dude, Donald Trump's not your fucking enemy. He never was. He was never known as a racist or a sexist or misogynist until after he started running for president, dude. He never mocked a disabled reporter. He never did that. No, there was some dude who acted like that who ripped him off, dude. He's been doing that same imitation for a long time, dude. He was never racist. He was never sexist, dude. Like, Donald Trump is awesome. He's a wonderful family man. He cares about his family. He wouldn't go do golden showers in a hotel in Russia because that sounds crazy. Donald Trump doesn't drink or do drugs, dude. He's a family man. Come on. Next article from NPR. White defendant allegedly used racial slur after killing Ahmaud Arbery because the narrative is racist white man kills unarmed black man. Because if it was black dude was robbed construction site, committed burglary multiple times, and was tracked down by ex-cop. Then he attacked him, and the dude defended himself and killed the guy because the guy was aggressive and he was acting like one of these gangbanger guys. You know? Like, the dudes call themselves the N-words. All these gangbanger guys use the N-word, right? And I've had home invasion robberies before, dude. They call themselves the N-word. That's why they're doing it, dude. Yeah, I've had guns pointed to my head, dude. Been robbed. Many times. Dude, more times than I'd like to count, dude. You know, and I live in Oregon where there's hardly any black people, but there's almost always a black person involved, dude. And it's because they have a shit attitude towards education. Ahmaud Arbery was not a jogger. He was walking up to the house that he had burgled, the construction site that he'd burgled multiple times. And he ran in and he ran out because he burgled it. He's a quote unquote jogger. They're still spitting out the narrative. He even says it in this article. They call him an unarmed jogger. He just jogged in their neighborhood. And that's the narrative. They believe that, a lot of them believe it. A lot of it is Russ and Jeff's information to create a boogeyman that can scare you to the left and a boogeyman on the right to scare you to the left. Because in the end, you're all just going to kill each other anyways. And the 1%'s gone and the poor people are gone and all these white supremacist Latinos are gone. And you just destroyed America to target the white man. When as it turns out, the entire time, if white people are in control, that's called a democracy, buddy. Come on, man. In authoritarianism, right is left. Left is right. They both go the same way. You have to see through their lies. They're controlled by foreign media assets, dude. It is dark money flowing through Citizens United that has pawned our legal, this stuff is so pervasive. It's crazy, dude. It's obviously Putin behind it and the Nazis, dude. Just call them Nazis. Don't call them fucking communists, dude. When they went around, dude, they were fighting themselves, man. They funded both sides because it was suicide. Anybody who's dumb enough, anybody who's hateful enough to be a Nazi deserves to die. They're mostly poor people, thugs from the city, right? And all the communists, you just got to tell them that the boogeyman's coming, these racist people. You got to help these other people out. So you just get a bunch of poor people that are trying to help people and you just kill them. That's what they do. They're thugs, dude. They're murderers, bro. Genocidal maniacs, dude. Don't listen to them. Don't buy into Russian propaganda. On this next study from the BBC News, says coronavirus, influential study on hydroxychloroquine withdrawn. Research flagged concerns with data after struggling hydroxychloroquine increased a risk of death. And the problem was that they used a bad data set and that they couldn't find, they repeated it and they couldn't find a risk of death. Dude, the drug's been out for a long time. Come on, man. They're just trying to attack the Donald Trump because he endorsed it, dude. But they found limited results in smaller groups that it was effective at blocking SARS-CoV-2. But when scaled up to the population, it was not effective. That's why you do a study. That's why you do a study. You're not supposed to shut the study down because of your political beliefs, dude. This is what these people do, man. That's how you make people hate each other. Make them so they shut up. So you put them in their tribes. Next thing you know, they hate each other. They want to fight. Then you let the poor people kill each other, trying to attack the 1%. Let them kill each other. And then you end up with no 1%, no poor people, no racist people, right? Next article from the Daily Mail. Elon Musk calls for breakup of Amazon for refusing to publish books questioning lockdown. Alex Brenson, a former New York reporter, revealed Wednesday that he had received an email from Amazon rejecting his book for self-publication as an ebook. And this is what they want to do, is they want to give you the microphone and take it away. That's why Twitter is censoring your post. There's supposed to be a platform. It's supposed to be akin to a carrier, like a telephone service. Like our dialogue that we have is a telephone service, right? We're talking to each other, right? So when you suppress and flag one vote, and then you bring up the other, like what it ends up being is copyright infringement. So recently, a Trump tweet was taken down for copyright. Okay. And Donald Trump was deplatformed from Snapchat, from Snap, because they want to grow, right? They don't just want to be the platform that you send naked pictures to that you regret, right? This is an article from Yahoo. It says Facebook, Instagram take down George Floyd post over alleged copyright violation. And here's what you must understand about the copyright law. I endured a nightmarish third-party custody battle from a rad femme that kidnapped my child and held him in a hoarder house and neglected him. Had CPS finally got me my kid back. And that's why I really don't like this shit, man. That's and so with copyright law, what you must know is that of what the intention of the law is, right? What is the intention of the copyright law? What does it say? Oh, sorry. It's copyright clause. This stuff's really cool once you start to get to know. Dude, the founding fathers were geniuses. They were also white supremacists. They were geniuses. So it says specifically, quote, the United States Congress shall have the sole power to promote. Oh, hold on. Shall have the power to promote the progress of science and the useful arts by securing for limited times to authors and inventors the exclusive rights to their respects, writings, and discoveries, right? So that means that you don't have permanent right to it, right? You don't have all. So let's say I take a newspaper and I make a collage out of the stuff, and then I put it together, and then I tell a story with it, right? I've innovated. I've taken somebody else's copyrighted material. I've put it together and innovated. That's what I'm doing in the show. That's how I know this law. I've been through the court system. I've wrote so many court papers. I know a lot about constitutional law. A lot. I don't know a lot about procedure. Well, hold on. I know enough about procedure to know I don't know enough about procedure. So what this is the crux of all of our copyright trademark, right? So why did they take it down? Because the information service is supposed to be hiding pornography from children's sites because it's illegal for children to get obscenities or akin to obscenities for them to view it. And then the information service travels state lines, which now you have distribution of pornography across state lines. Now you have federal government jumping in, right? Follow me? So, what they're doing is they're trying to give you your mic and take it away. Snap just deplatformed Trump. Why? They don't like Trump. Why? Because they think conservatives are racist and sexist, misogynist. They're the imaginary misogynistic pig boogeyman from MSNBC, right? Right. And the white nationalist boogeyman from the Southern Poverty Law Center, right? Once you unveil the hood Democrats, the rest of the pieces fall into place, right? So what they're doing here, They're selectively enforcing the copyright law. There's all kinds of people post stuff like that all the time. It's called media, news. You have to, Donald Trump is showing you something. It's like news. It's akin to news, what he's doing. He's showing you his perspective. This is what his these are his writings and discoveries. He is the one with the exclusive right to this intellectual property under the United States legal system. Not the person who took it down, because the person who took it down would have to own the copyright to that. Who took it down? An unelected official took it down. That's who. Right? The Russians are trying to start World War III. That's what they're doing. Next article from Daily Mail. Woman shoots pepper spray out of a Lexus at a group of Black Lives Matter protesters. And again, yes, when you riot and target people, people hate you. That's how you start a war. Wow, why are all the people rioting socialist? Why is it? Why the hell is it that the demographics just so happen to be socialist Latinos, rad femmes, ivory tower liberals, black people, and they're all socialist, right? Nazis, Russians, socialists, Marxists. Yeah. They're trying to make a pure socialist utopia here. Don't let them do it, dude. Don't let them do it. No, man. What you got to do is you got to kick out all the Latino illegal immigrants and all the older dudes who can't get with a girl and have a baby, who have low birth rate, need to take on the illegal immigrants to help them stay here, right? Vote with your penis, right? Because that is awesome. Give me a Latina wife with big tits who's awesome, who wants to be with her family. She'll love me forever. That's not white supremacist. That's pro-American, man. That's pro-Latino, pro-Latina. That's best. It's in everybody's best interest. But why is it that the Democrats are always working against everybody's best interest? Who's the enemy? The white man. The 1%. The people who control you. But they paint a boogeyman because they have to conceal the target, right? They can't just tell you who the fucking target is, dude. If they told you who the target was, it wouldn't fucking work, man. Nobody's going to go along with it. We love Latinos and Latinas. We do. We love black people. We love Asians. We love Indians. We love all these people together in one place. But the problem is they paint this narrative where if you're not on a diverse team, it's inferior, right? So what do you have to do? Because they say you can't innovate. Really what it is the diversity needs to come from locality. They can't be people from your own. It's bad to have a team from your own state. Like, it doesn't matter if they're white. It just matters that they're from like a different state. You have a different cultures that are not monoculture, like Silicon Valley is, right? Doesn't matter it's color of your skin. No, this is disinformation campaign. Why? Because it makes us weak, puts our people on the streets. There are 20 illegal immigrants for every single homeless person on the street. They're banging cartel dope, dude. That's why they're on the streets, dude. 50% of illegal immigrants are from Mexico. 1 out of 20 people in Mexico is in the United States illegal. That's illegal. Who's harboring them? Sanctuary states, sanctuary cities. Why? Because they vote for them. If they can't make them legal citizens to vote, their children will vote for Democrats. If they voted for Republicans, they'd kick them out. Most of them come from South America. Why? There's drug gangs there. The hell are gangbangers, terrorists, cartels. They got drug money coming in, dude. This is terrorist cartels in bed with the Russian mafia. Dude, wool has been pulled over. I have unveiled who is the hood Democrats and Hitler's master plan. And now you can see it's a bunch of baloney. They were trying to commit suicide. We're not trying to commit suicide. We're not fucking stupid. We're not Nazis, dude. We love Latinos. We love black people. We love city people. They're just acting stupid because our education system's messed up. And then the external sources will take advantage of this, man. You got to look at who they're marketing to, dude. They market it to women. Who's the other power group coming up, dude? The Latinos. And why? I covered it earlier today on the show. I showed you the proof. Our population is dependent on the immigration policy because everybody's numbers are trending downhill. You got to watch the earlier show. I have proof. I showed proof from U.S. Census. It's true. It's true. Cali Democrats, ivory tower liberals, been trying to replace the white people because they vote for Democrats with Latinos because they vote for Democrats. Socialist Latinos. Socialist, not the conservative Latinos. They're great. Conservative Republicans, black people, great. All these other people, the people that aren't wingnuts, right? Everybody's not a wingnut. You're awesome. This point in time, look at who the wingnut are. They're trying to turn us against each other. Next article from Reuters. Goldman Sachs executives email making a plan for racial equality goes viral at firm because why? Why do they hate Donald Trump? Donald Trump is the king of the Jews, savior of the white people. King, he's at the top of the ivory tower. Not at the top of the ivory tower. He owns his own tower. It's the Golden Tower. He owns the Golden Tower. They own the ivory tower. They want to buy the Golden Tower. Donald Trump won't sell. He won't buy. It's his. They can't buy him. They can't give him a job at Goldman Sachs. That's why they hate him. Start connecting the dots. You'll see it's all a bunch of socialist garbage from a Russian disinformation campaign. Next article from Newsweek. Biden says U.S. is now having trouble breathing. Urges police reform during town hall. Didn't I start on this? What was this? I don't even remember what that one. That was a different article. No, I can't breathe. He's saying their fucking propaganda. He's saying it. Because he's an ivory tower liberal. He'll tell you whatever he wants to hear. Dude. He was he was vice president with Obama when the race relations went bad. Before Obama took office, race relations were great. And then Obama took office and they went downhill. Why? Pandering to minority groups. They don't want to help the majority of people out. They want to help the minority groups out because they vote for them. The women have the money, dude. White dudes are broke. They're homeless on the street banging cartel dope, dude. Because the women are getting ahead in college. Left out. They got swiped left. They only swipe right on the ivory tower liberals. Right? Hood Democrats, dude. They're like sleeping with skeezy hip-hop dudes. Or they're sleeping with rich dudes. They're not sleeping with the smart guys. They can't get girlfriends. That's why all these people up in the ivory tower want women to work there. They want to hang out with women because they're losers. They're like programmer dorks. They want to work all day. They can't communicate with people. A normal person would be like, dude, what world do you live in, bro? Like, nothing that you say is like in the world that I live in. Because I have the same problem. I'm an engineer. That's what they say to me, too. They live in an ivory tower. They're at the top of it. Next article from Newsweek. Violent video aims to stoke fear and tension between Chicago's blacks and Latino communities. On Sunday, videos began to circulate appearing to show black residents being attacked by alleged members of Latin Kings gang, street gang. Why? Because light-skinned Latinos are racist against black people and Amerindians. Democrats are on these people's side. Oh my God. Wow, hood Democrats are stupid. And RadFem. Well, hold on. I mean, RadFems are just trying to do good, but they're just trying to promote themselves. They want to rise up in the hierarchy so they can get more money. Same thing with the hood Democrats. Everybody does. That's how you control them. That's how the people at the top of the tower control you. It's because you're trying to come up and they're in control of the hierarchy. They're blaming the white man for not getting hired when in reality, it's the people in the ivory tower that won't hire them because their grades aren't good enough. And these people are mostly immigrants and women, and most of the white guys are too afraid to say anything, dude. Most of the engineers really, like hearing this would be like, "Thank you, God, someone said something." It's because I'm a good person. I'm not a fucking imaginary misogynistic pig boogeyman. I'm not like a Nazi. And I hate women because I don't like feminism, dude. These are false dichotomies set up to scare the people on the far left. They think the boogeyman's coming, so they'll go farther left. And the people on the right, and the far right, to convince them that the communist boogeyman's coming, so that they go farther right when both sides lead to socialism. And that was the plan of the Nazis, was to kill everybody and then bounce out, dude. Light the bomb and then take off. Don't let them do that. I don't want that shit in my fucking neighborhood, dude. I like my house. I've spent a long time building up this stuff. You know, probably going to be targeted by one of these fucking hood Democrats who thinks I'm a white supremacist and justifies it to rob me. Because that's what they fucking do. That's how you start a war. Robbing and killing. Next article from Newsweek. Twitter takes down Trump campaign tribute. Oh, we already covered that. Sorry. Next article from New York Post. Minneapolis sees $55 million in building damage, looting during George Floyd protests. Like, wow, that was a huge yeah, they did a lot of damage. Why is there that little amount of money from the stuff? Why? Because most of the goods were from slave labor from China. All these people are like, oh, I'm so oppressed. Black people are, oh, my ancestors were slave. I'm oppressed. Because their fucking grades suck, dude. Right? Blaming the white man for the problems. And as it turns out, the whole time, they're buying stuff from slave labor and they don't say a fucking thing about it. You ever imagine if they were writing over fucking slave labor in China? That would be crazy, dude. You ever seen Europeans protest over slave labor in China? No, because that would be fucking stupid. Next article from NPR. Facebook begins labeling state-controlled media. That would have been nice, right? Yeah. They didn't even label state-controlled media. Facebook's guilty. They're guilty. It's them. They're the ivory tower liberals, bro. They're at the top of the ivory tower where they want to make a socialist utopia. That's why Russians are targeting them. I work in the ivory tower, right? I own startups, right? Startups. That's why they can't buy me off. I'm doing this show for free, dude. I'm not doing it for clicks or likes. I'm doing it because somebody needs to say it. Because it's true. And it's fun. All right, went over that one. Next article from NPR. I didn't deserve it. Pandemic shut down his barbershop. Then a fire destroyed it. This gentleman is a kind, loving, caring individual. You know, he would be a friend, family. I would love to be a family member of his. Look what they did to his business. Trevin Ellis spent years building up his Minneapolis barbershop, luring customers with smart haircuts, snacks, and friendly conversations. It just took one terrible night to destroy it all in the week of broken glass. That stuff, you got to watch the other Real Simple News Stories, where episodes where I in detail show you the night in broken glass and how it identically mirrors what just happened. It does. You start to put the factions together, dude. Put the factions together. They're all socialists, rad femmes, socialist Latinos, hood Democrat. They're welfare queens, right? They're all in the city. They're on food stamps, dude. Welfare queens. Imagine that. Dude, you can't even make this shit up, dude. Like, you can't even make this shit up because it just keeps going. And it's like I'm like a fire hose of IDW shit. Just like, this is so much fun, dude. I'm fucking Captain Kabuki, motherfucker. Captain of the Kabuki Starship. Thank you very much. Next article from Newsweek. Facebook's earliest employees call Mark Zuckerberg to label Trump's threatening post. Fact-checking is not censorship. I disagree. It's editing. It's not censorship, it's editing. It's you putting your spin. How are you going to fact check everybody on Facebook, dude? You need an army of people. It's impossible. You have to selectively fact check. They want to do it because they're working with the Russians. The Russians are their customer, dude. Come on, man. They don't care. The place is run by immigrants, dude. These people are from all over the world, dude. They don't care about, they want the white people gone so that they can control everything, dude. If they could get their way, they would hire 0 white people and everybody from their home, and they would bring all of their family here, because anybody would do that. Anybody would do that. That's why we have immigration laws. We're not supposed to bias it towards one group of people. It's not supposed to be biased towards South Americans. Why is it biased towards South Americans and Central Americans? Why? That's their drug connection, dude. They're socialist. The crazed, drugged out gangs that are mass slaughtering people in Mexico, dude. These people are getting paid off by murderous terrorist cartel drug gangs to start riots over fake news, dude. Take them down. They're not a platform. They're a publisher, dude. They publish news. They do. They interfere with your conversation to remove stuff that they deem to be hateful, or what did they say, like, against one of those Trump tweets that it was like glorified violence? Like, have you ever turned on the TV, dude? What world do they live in, dude? Every time I turn on the TV, there's somebody getting killed. Just about. That's why I don't watch TV. That's why I'm on the intellectual dark web. I don't watch garbage. That's why I'm not brainwashed. But I helped start the 2016 Portland anti-Trump protest, and I saw it. That's how I'm able to see it, because they kicked me out the ivory tower, and I was a rad femme, and I helped Antifa. Why? We were all socialist. They didn't riot because of Black Lives Matter. No, they rioted because Donald Trump said, grab her the pussy. In Portland, almost everybody's white. I helped start it. I was the one that got him riled up. I was the one that was saying he's a sexist pig. And then Black Lives Matter showed up. Some skeezball Greg Melvin trying to come up in this hierarchy, and they're professional protesters. He got trained up at another Black Lives Matter protest, and then he trained everybody else. And they had some person out there from like some legal aid place that was giving out their phone numbers. And were like, if anything happens, call me. I'll help you out. I'll help you get out of jail. Right? And then what do? We shut down I-5. Like, that's nuts, dude. And if you don't believe me, I'll even pull out the video right now so you can see it, dude. I'll show you here what we did and what was the error. Hold on, it's on another Real Simple News episode. You got to watch it, right? It's in the other one that is, which one is it? It's the BLM Antifa-Nazi video. I'm not going to play it for you. It's a tease. It's in the BLM Antifa-Nazi socialist plot revealed. Or cabal. Sorry, that I accidentally misspelled cable because the spell checker. Oops. I need help. Donate to the show. There's a place where you can donate. It's at cookingwithkale.org. Kale spelled with a C. /projects. And if you like this, I'm like broke entrepreneur. I'm not wealthy. I'm doing all this for a nonprofit to try to help a startup IMU language technology that I invented to help disabled people, because I used to have a disability, and that's why they kicked me out the ivory tower. That's why my GPA was 2.9, because I had a disability because my kid was kidnapped and I was going through court. That's why they kicked me out of the ivory tower. The rad femme kidnapped my kids, held them in a horror house, ruined my life. So I got these cookbooks. They're not all done, but if you want to make a donation, you can do that over there. Next article from New York Post. County Commissioner Ernst resign after calling Black Lives Matter a hate group. I agree with him. They're a riot and loot group and a hate group. Civil rights is the movement, bro. You want to join it? It's got a hashtag. Next article from Times of Israel. And I'm going to get off. This is going to be my last one because I feel sick. I really do. Israeli Times reports on groundbreaking Israeli microscope can change the face of tech. Professor Ido Kamar says he's given the electron microscope the ultimate upgrade from a machine that takes stills to one that takes movies. Wow. Oh my God. That's so amazing. I'm trying to make these like digital photonic neural nets to make this Chinese room AI thing. Using these like basically little itty bitty light controllers with these like powered by RF thing. And I just think that's so cool because I got to implant these little photodiodes on this digital photonic neuron because it's like a photon mixed with a computer network. Makes sense, because all the nodes can't see each other, but you can route signals basically. But I think that is so cool. Groundbreaking. Israelis are awesome at that stuff, man. Dude, I wish I was working with these people. I think we can actually see a picture of them. These people are diverse. This guy looks brilliant. Yeah, Israelis. Jews are great people, man. You got to watch out. Nazis hate Jews. Who hates Jews? Russians. They hate Jews, right? These people are awesome, dude. Yeah, they just revolutionized science. That's amazing. With that, I must bid you adieu. Thank you for watching Real Simple News on Thursday, June 4th, 2020, which is actually Friday, June 5th, but we always are a day behind here now. And until next time, as I say every time, farewell, sayonara, aloha, peace be with you, and Godspeed in your journeys.